Good morning and welcome back to our Saturday sofa share. I think as Andrew's jokingly said this morning, removal companies, really unexciting thing to be talking about, but so crucial.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
I think one of the biggest things, I always remember this when I moved, my father-in-law said to me, we'll get everybody together, we'll get some fans and we'll help do it. Oh dear, that would have been a nightmare. When should people get removal companies in, do you think, Andrew?
Not too early. I think probably when you know you're edging closer towards exchange of contracts and when the chain, if you're involved in one, is talking about a completion date, probably worth then thinking seriously about getting a removal company in of your choice to quote, I think. Yeah.
When can they book that date?
They shouldn't book it officially. You can provisionally book it, but don't part with any money, as they will need a deposit until you know you've exchanged contracts. So it is a bit of a waiting game. You can put provisional dates in the diary of the removal company, but I don't think you ought to officially book it until you've exchanged contracts.
I mean, I'm sure the removal companies are used to dates moving.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I mean, personally, I think shop around initially. You can make some calls. You don't need them physically to come in. Just sort of get a feel for. But recommendations is a big thing, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah. We're very fortunate where we work. We've got lots of good local removal companies.
Absolutely.
The big nationals. There's plenty of independents who are great guys. Yeah.
I mean, I can straight at the top of my head name 3. I'm not going to because it would be unfair and it would be promoting them. But it's definitely worth shopping around, finding. And the different levels of service they do, Andrew. Full package. They do the whole lot, a bit like we do when we're managing a tenancy. So,
yeah, full pack and move service, I think, as it's known. Yeah, they come in on the day, maybe even the day before, especially if you're travelling a long distance, and pack up all your valuables, dismantle beds, sofas, etc. And then on the day, obviously, get it on the back of the Pantenic and away you go. But yeah, do also think if you're moving a long distance that. Obviously it'd be more expensive because it could well be that you might need more than one day to move, so you're looking at perhaps 2 days to pack, another day to travel, and then the removal guys have got to get it back down south where they.
Because you had that recently, didn't you? Someone wasn't sure, thought it would just all happen in one day.
No, a couple moved to Humberside, way north from us, and the cost was quite a lot more because the lorry drivers are restricted on the amount of hours they can travel in a day. Tachometer or whatever it is, so they needed to be put up in a hotel overnight and then come back down the next day, so it's a lot more expensive.
I bet it is. I think also if you're going abroad, you need to plan things as well, because if you're shipping stuff, it takes longer.
Yeah.
And obviously you don't want to arrive at your new property and find your furniture and equipment isn't arriving for sort of like a month later or anything.
Yeah. Well, I had also that with people moving abroad where they had a British Bulldog, which they wanted to transport. They got all the vaccinations and rabies jabs and all that sort of stuff. Rang around for couriers, and the ship would not allow the dog to be taken in a crate below deck because they suffer with a heavy heart and they had to be on deck. Which is a real flack as well, and they wouldn't transport, I think, for some African parrot or something as well. So yeah, do check if you're going abroad as to restrictions on where you cannot go. Especially
as a new dog owner myself, I've never even considered the whole pet situation. You just kind of expect it's just going to happen. So again, it's things like that, isn't it? And maybe even ask sort of family or friends on the day or the day before, because it can upset the pets. Just look after them maybe for sort of overnight and then pick them up when you're into the new property. Was it somebody said to me with cats, you've got to put is it butter on the paws or something and it makes them stay? I haven't got a clue. So I think, as Andrew's rightly said there, you do have a full pack and kind of like shipping service that these removal companies can. I think when we moved, we packed pretty much everything, and then they just came in, dismantled the big furniture like the wardrobes, the beds, that kind of thing. And then yes, you can do it yourself. I think people think it's going to be done in a couple of hours, don't they?
Yeah, well, I've done it, and I know you've done it as well. And you can do it. Obviously, it depends on your budget. Not everyone's in a position where you've got lots of money to spend on a removal company. And a man in a van or a U-Haul van is always, I suppose, a thought that you might come across to do it. But you really do have to plan carefully, because not only are you packing up all your belongings, scurrying around, hoovering, tidying, cleaning as well. Off you go to your agent, pick up the keys, and then you've got the whole drama of unpacking as well. So when I did it, I was absolutely exhausted.
I bet you were, yeah. And again, I always said I was glad that I mean, we only moved from one end of the estate to the other, so it was only, 3/4 of a mile, but it was money very well spent, quick done. at the other end they are unloaded. I mean, the other thing that you've got to take into account, we were talking about this morning from your experience yesterday, is the timing of getting the keys as well. So removal men will be sort of turning up at your new property. They may have packed at 9 o'clock in the morning, they're ready to go, they arrive at your new property if you're kind of local, maybe sort of by 1 o'clock. They're chomping at the bit to move in, but you can't always do that because you need to get the keys released. So they are the experts. They are used to things going wrong. Hopefully it won't do for you, but yeah, I think they're very much seasoned professionals, aren't they?
There are, yeah, some really good guys out there, so definitely worth getting a quote. Something that just sprung to mind as well is that if you are moving perhaps to a tight cul-de-sac or down a country lane, if you think it's just going to be one removal van, often they'll need the large truck to carry it. That truck will probably have to stop at the end of the cul-de-sac or the end of the country lane.
Walk it way down.
Then need another van, a smaller van, to go down the country lane. So yeah, definitely be prepared for where you're moving to. Get these guys in for a quote, and they can price it.
And I think also be honest with them as well, because if they turn up on the day and you haven't told them something, or I mean, they're pretty good anyway, they'll go and assess what they're doing, but if you haven't sort of given them the right advice, then it could cause you no end of headaches on the day of moving. And the day of moving is pretty much one of the most stressful things you're ever going to do in your life. I said 14 years ago I'd never do it again, but I shouldn't be telling you that as an estate agent. It's really great, it's really exciting, but no, it comes down to that age-old thing, prior preparation prevents very poor performance. But no, it is, isn't it? It's get the quotes in, get yourself organised, declutter, get everything ready, speak to the removal firms, constantly keep them up to date with what's happening with your sort of your exchange dates and completion dates and everything, and then yeah, it should be simple, straightforward. So that's it from me today, but is it? So give me, what are we going to talk about? I think Salt House, beautiful 3-bedroom mid-terrace, down sort of down the end of the Brenzett bypass there in Brooklands. Absolutely gorgeous, 3 bedrooms. You've got parking, got the garage as well with that one. Great little play park out the front on that.
Good price as well at 275.
So 275, family home out in the country, but not a million miles away from anything either, is it? I'll put the photos up. Obviously, if you are interested in this one, we're keen to get it sold. As Andrew's just said, they're 275. Give us a call today, 01233 501 601, and that's the property Salt House. Can't even say it now. Salt House Ash Close, isn't it? Salt House Close, sorry, I'll get it right in a minute. Down in Brooklands there, and again 275. So we'll see you soon. Have a great weekend. I'm hoping the weather's going to pick up. Of course, yesterday it decided to rain on my day off, and didn't it just rain? You got soaked out there running around doing boards, didn't you?
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable. So that's it. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.
Take care, guys. Bye.